Hello everyone, it's Pepsi back in Roblox Wild Horse Islands. Today's video is going to be an in-depth guide to update number 66. Trick labels this as a mini update or a miscellaneous update, and it was just released and made public about an hour ago. This update mainly focuses on quality of life, customization, and adjustments to the collection log that was changed last week. So we're going to be going over all of that. As a side note, before we get started, if you notice my Roblox avatar is a bit different. It now is, she is now red and black to match my main horse. And also because I have been obsessed in real life with dyeing my hair red. Anyways, my main horse Ferrari also has a little bit of a tack and accessory adjustment. A lot of their accessories is now dark red instead of the ruby accessories, and it now features red and green plaid. So both my avatar and horse are a little bit festive for the holidays coming up, which I really like, and my name now has some holiday emojis. So if you see those changes, they are going to be staying throughout the holiday season, and then I might change a little bit up later, probably in the new year. Anyways, let's get started with today's update changes. We are in front of Sweetie's Dye Shop. So the first major, huge portion of this update is to the dyes. As you guys know, in-game, every day in-game at 12 noon, Sweetie's Dye Shop and Abbie's accessory shop has new stock available. Sweetie's Dye Shop usually has 6 total dyes available, and they can be repeats. 2 of them are Robux dyes, and 4 of them are usually token in-game currency dyes. So that gives you a 1 out of 6 chance every time to get the dye you are looking for in the shop every time she refreshes her stock. Now, the new change has been that all dyes are available all the time. So Sweetie, if you go to dye and ask, can I see your dyes, you are now available to buy any dye that she has in her shop, and she has all 47 hair dyes available at all times. So as you guys can see, the Robux dyes are at the very top, taking up about a little over 2 rows, and the token dyes take up the next 3 to 4 rows below that. And if you notice, prices has also been increased for the token dyes. So instead of starting at around 200 tokens and going to about 800, I believe, it now starts at 300 tokens, and the prices vary per color variation, and the most expensive is 1,100 tokens. Your Robux hair dyes has not been increased in terms of price, so they are still worth the same amount. But yes, these have maintained their Robux pricing. So those are not to be worried about. We also have 14 new hair dyes that have been added in game. 3 of those 14 are for Robux, and the rest of them, 11 of them, are token hair dyes that have been added. So I'm going to go through each one. So the new Robux hair dye starts with Brun Black, and you guys can see the little preview on the left hand side of the screen. So Brun Black starts with a blonde and goes into a dark gray. The next Robux hair dye we have is the Gray Fade, which is this one. It starts as a darker gray and it goes towards like a lighter gray to white. So you can see that. It is also a Robux hair dye. And then the last Robux hair dye that has been added is a dark chestnut to white fade, which is this one right here. So it starts with like a dark brown and it goes towards a white hair color, and it is also for Robux. A lot of these colors, just to make a note before we continue, they will be looking a little bit different depending on your monitor or screen that you are using, as well as your in-game color saturation, contrast, and brightness settings. So if they look a little bit more saturated or contrasted in my game, that's because my settings are a little bit higher. But yes, that is just my personal preference. Going on into the new hair dyes that are not for Robux, that are for in-game tokens, we're starting off with Gold Black, which looks like this. I don't know how to describe this one a lot, but it is a version of tan almost. Gold Black. Next we have Rod Black, which is a little bit of a darker tan. Gra, which is a fade from a lightish tan gray to a darker gray. So that's Gra. Then we have Ulz Black, which is a whitish to grayish fade. Next, we have my personal favorites that have been added, which include Raspberry Red, which I love this red color. It is very hot pink. To me, it looks very hot pink. Next, we have our next new hair dye, which is Salmon Pink. To me, this reminds me of the coral hair dye. I really love this color. So that's Salmon Pink. Then we have Mulberry Pink, which to me this looks like a magenta hot pink. It is slightly different. It is more on the magenta side to me. Mulberry Pink. Then we have Mint Green, which I know there is a pastel green, or there's also like a pink to pastel green fade from spring, so it reminds me of that. Mint Green, which I really like this color and I'm excited for it too. And then we have Chestnut Fade, which is more of a reddish brown to a grayish brown. Chestnut Fade. Light Orange, which is this one right here. To me, this almost looks like a bright gold or more of like a sunshine yellow. It is called Light Orange. And then lastly, the last new hair dye for tokens is Sun Bleached Black, which to me this looks like my natural hair color in real life. It is very, very dark brown, but this is called Sun Bleached Black. Yeah, so those are the 14 new dyes that have been added, as well as the changes to the dye shop. In addition to that, we do have some changes at Abbie's accessory shop, so let's head over there. As you can see, it is 12 noon in game. Abbie has new accessories, and that has not changed. Abbie's stock is still changing every day, and it is still rotating for Abbie's shop at 12 noon every day. If you don't know, Hogan and Charlie have new horses and vehicles for sale every day as well, but that is at 6 a.m. in game. Abbie is at 12 noon. So let's hopefully see. Yes, we have a couple of the new accessories. So going down the list of changes, the new accessories in Abbie's shop, we have a tiara. As you can see, this is a tiara. One of the new accessories, it will have random primary, secondary, tertiary colors, and it is for a lot more tokens. It is for 4,000-ish tokens, and this one's yellow, pearl, gold, and dark fabric blue. So that is one of the new accessories. We also have some accessories that are not showing up on my rotation this time, but I'm going to go down the list. We have a distinguished monocle, which is a Robux accessory, so it'll appear up here as one of the 3 Robux accessories if it's available during that rotation. We have a distinguished mustache, which is a token accessory. A distinguished cane, we do have a couple of those available. We have this one that's 2,500 and this one for 840, so a couple color variations. We also have another token accessory that is not here right now. It is a distinguished top hat. And we also have patterns that I do not see currently at this rotation, but we have new accessory patterns that include pink polka dots and purple polka dots. So any of the existing accessories, for example, the bell boots or the sports medicine boots or the jumping boots or the saddle pad, etc., may now come in a color variation of pink polka dots or purple polka dots. So those are the 2 patterns. In addition to these changes for Abbie's Accessories and Sweetie's Dye Shop, we do have a couple more customization items added. We have 2 new flowers, which I believe are used for dyes. I don't think I can see them anywhere, but will they be in the collection log? That is a good question. Flowers. Yep. So as you can see in the collection log, this is the quickest way for me to show you. We have 2 new flowers. We have a pink flower and we have a gray flower. So the gray flower it says it can only be found on Mountain Island and not grown from seeds. Pink flower does not have any restrictions. This flower, the pink flower, is used to craft pastel pink colors and can be found anywhere. Whereas the gray flower is used to craft light gray colors, according to Trick. We also have a new trading menu. So if you normally know what the trading menu looks like, it is a list and you can trade up to 12 items. I'm going to be switching to a public server to show that off in a bit. I'm going to be doing that after I do the rest of the changes. But instead of having a list, let me see if I can show this. I have to go to the trading hub. I am in a private server right now, so hopefully this does show up in the private server. If not, I will switch to a public server and try to trade someone to show you guys. But it's basically a new trading menu. Instead of the list format, it is now a grid format, so it's easier to see without having to scroll down. And instead of only being able to trade 12 items, you are now able to trade 25, which is great for me. I try to make a lot of trades with items I don't really want, so I usually have to add a lot to get the horse or accessories I want to trade for. So it is really good that you no longer have to really trust trade if you are trading less than 25 items. Because that is how people and players get scammed. So let me see if the trading history actually shows it like this. No, this still shows the list format. Yeah. So this is the previous format. It's a list and it shows like each one. I'll try to get into a new trade and show the grid format after I go through the rest of the changes. Going through the rest of the changes quickly, we have Mountain Island. We're going to be taking a trip over there real quick. Phase 2 of Mountain Island has been blocked off for months now, I believe. And it has been removed altogether. This is a quality of life update that basically is meant to make it lag less. in game. So if we take a little quick trip to the if you take a quick trip to the new phase of Mountain Island that is expected to be added eventually, I don't believe there is a date yet, you will see that it is removed altogether. This should make the game faster. Sorry, I passed a horse and it was my instinct to like check if it was a IUH, which it isn't. But yeah, so this means especially in public servers, it will not take as long to load Mountain Island as it is one of the larger islands. It also should just reduce game lag when you're in those servers. So Mountain Island shares a server with Royal Island and Desert Island, I believe. So that also helps. And I believe it's removed on the map too. I have not been playing this game enough to really tell if it was removed on the map, so give me a second. For me, I actually have to go see, and then I can probably compare. Yes. Yep. Okay. So this whole section of the map is no longer in game. And it is now filled with, it has been emptied out, and the water has been a little bit filled in for that section of the island. Yes, and you can also see on the map it is adjusted. So where it says Mount Wild, it is now no longer, it no longer exists. And this is just a temporary change, I believe, well, I assume, and believe that once the second phase of Mountain Island has been revamped, that those will reappear. It should. So yes, that is something to look forward to. Another thing is for the collection log, saddle pads for activity rewards. In terms of Royal Island and Volcano, so if you go to archaeology, the saddle pad has been removed. So these are just patterns. And volcanic minerals, the saddle pad has been removed from the collection log because they're only obtained towards milestone rewards. So if you already completed your volcanic minerals milestones and your archaeology milestones, you are no longer having those rewards retroactively be added to your collection log. So if you already did it, you are not having these checked off already, because with the collection log update, if you didn't see my last video, anything besides the wild captures have not been included in previous game data, so it hasn't been checked off even if you've done those before. So like for example, this is probably easier to just like do an example. I already have the lava rod and I already have a couple of these trails and the hot peppers, but even though I've obtained those, because I haven't gotten them after the collection log update last week, they are not checked off in my collection log yet. Anything you obtained in terms of resources, special horses, or activity rewards prior to the update has not been checked off. So that is why the Royal and Volcano saddle pads have been removed from milestones in the collection log. We also have some quality of life adjustments. So the volume for wind gusts are quieter. It is no longer as loud. You also have a couple changes when it comes to your private island. So I am going to be, nope, don't leave. Let me reset and go to a private island. Okay. Let's go to my private island. So I was complaining about this when I was decorating my island for autumn and Halloween, so I'm really excited about this change. You can now build on top of your deck directly. So usually how it used to happen was that when you tried to build on your deck, it would sink towards the level of the ocean, of the water, because you weren't allowed to build on your deck on this little pathway, this wooden pathway. Now you are able to. Prior, if you wanted to place at the same level of this pathway, you either had to place along this mat or you had to go along the water and put it on top of something else that was along the water, so it looked like it was on top of the deck. Now you can build directly on the deck. The only difference is you cannot build as close to the boat, which is a little disappointing, but it's okay. I do have some items that are really close to the boat already, so I don't really want to move those, but I might, just to see. I'm opening some smaller items just to look. So it looks like you can place it a little bit close to the boat if you place it in the right place, in the right location. Like for example, I can place something here or here, but I can't place things here or too close to this side of the boat. I believe this change in terms of adjusting objects close to the boat has been made because some players do block William, the boat captain. So if you want to get off someone's private island and they blocked William, you are unable to do so, and you have to reset to go to your own private island, or leave the game altogether. Anyways, so that has been a small island customization update. Another thing has been adjusted in the collection log. Sorry, we're going back and forth because I'm going down the list. Is the trails. So now you can, as you saw prior, the hoof trails are now included in the collection logs for the volcanic minerals, Steven's training receipts, and the archaeology sections for Cal's archaeology as well. So these hoof trails have now also been added into the game as milestones. And we do have some more island decor, going back and forth again, that is craftable. So now we can also craft decorative crystal outcrops, which just look like the little crystals that can be found, and you can do it with any of the crystals in the game. As you can see, the crystals view has been adjusted from last update, and you can see this when you look at each individual crystal's icon. I didn't really go over that because I wasn't aware the icons changed as well, but you can see that here. So the icons are separate. To create every crystal outcrop, it looks like we need 5 of the crystals and then 5 stone to craft the little outcrop decoration, and you can place that anywhere on your island as well. I know there is also one more. Yes. So I skipped over one more thing with the collection log before we move into the most anticipated change, but we do have a new collection log reward. When we go to special horses and go to breeding uniques, you now have a reward for this category. So your reward for collecting all 13 breeding unique horses, it does not matter the breed, it just has to be each breeding unique coat specifically on any breed of horse. You now have a chance at a reward, and I love this reward. I'm super excited. So the reward for collecting all the breeding uniques is this outdoor breeding stall, and you can place this on your private island anywhere. This allows you to actually breed on your island, so you no longer have to go to either mainland or the breeding island to breed your horses. You can do it from your very own island as long as you collected and placed this stall somewhere. yeah, it also requires, again, like I mentioned, doing all 13 breeding uniques, so it is a little bit of work. It is not going to be easy, but I cannot wait to get my own stall afterwards. So I'm very excited for that. And the very, very last, most anticipated change to this update has been island unique hairs. They spawn a little bit more commonly. If I go into the collection log and island unique hairs, I'm not sure if it'll show. Yeah, it doesn't show chances on here. And let me check mine. Oh yeah, because it's herd caught, it doesn't show chances either. But in general, island unique hairs are more common. I know some people were talking on the Wikia forums and in the Discord that they've already caught some more island unique hairs thanks to this increased chance in the update. So if you are IUH hunting, and you maybe lost some motivation or you didn't have any luck collecting IUHs, try now. Hopefully with the increased chances, you are more lucky and available to find more IUH horses. This probably will adjust the value of IUHs. Right now, a low tier IUH, and if you don't know the tiers of horses, they depend on the breeds. So I believe a low tier is a quarter, Appaloosa, I think maybe Mustang, and paint horse. Maybe Mustang. I know Icelandic is not. I think Mustang. But around those 3 to 4 horse breeds are considered low tier. So no matter what the IUH color is, if it is one of those low tier breeds, they normally go for 2 to 3 million tokens to buy. And I've seen some people try to get low tier IUHs recently for around 5 to 8 million as well. I believe, I haven't been playing that long, but I believe last year I was told that it was around 500,000 to 1 million for a low tier IUH. Maybe 2 million if you were being very picky, but yeah, they have inflated a lot in terms of price. So hopefully making IUHs a bit more common will help these prices go back down and adjust them back down. If you do have an IUH that you are trying to get rid of, I recommend getting rid of them during this update, during as soon as possible, really, just to get the best price before values drop. I don't know how much they'll drop. I don't know if they'll drop. Maybe they'll stay just as expensive. But definitely keep an eye out on IUH prices in the future to see how this update has really adjusted their values. And I just switched to a public server so I can go to the trading hub to show you the new trade menu. Other than that, I believe those are all the changes that have been made. I forgot to show this in this video. I should have showed this at the beginning. But if you missed the little window, yes, it's called a window. The window for the new update, this is what the new update window looked like when you opened up the game. If you want to look at a quick summary of all the changes we talked about today, it is going to be available right there on top of my game screen. So feel free to take a screenshot or just read through that quickly. And I am going to, someone sent me a trade request. So let me take this down. Yes, and you can see the new trading window compared to the old one. Oh, did they really not? There you go. It is now up to a maximum of 25 items, and if I find some random things, sorry, I really feel bad for adding a bunch of random things knowing I'm going to decline this trade, but I want to add a couple so you can see. Now they are in grid format. So you can still see the info or cancel each item that you place. And you can also see the little dots with each limited or specific subtitle for each item. But once again, they are in grid format, which I prefer. I love this. I like clean, concise, compacted UI. So I prefer this, and I love that there is up to 25 slots now. Okay. I believe we have shown off every single thing in this update. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you do have any more Wild Horse Islands content you would like to see me go over, definitely leave a comment below, and I will see you in the very next video. Bye.